Can you become a cryptonaire? If I've met people, I've heard people say they wish they had invested or started investing in Bitcoin in the early ages, in the early stages.
So thinking that it's too late to get involved in Bitcoin is like thinking it's too late to get involved with the internet or too late to get involved with using a cell phone. Like, it's not too late to get involved in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to make your life easier in so many ways. And
if you actually invested in Bitcoin or bought Bitcoin 2008, when it was just pennies on the dollar, if you had bought Bitcoin then, I've met people who will argue that if they wish they were early investors in Bitcoin, like if they had invested early, that today they'll be mega millionaires. You hear about the Dogecoin millionaire. You hear about different people who are very active in the crypto space, like Vitalik Buterin, like Blight Masters, Preti Kasseredi, Gavin Wood, Balaji Srinivasas, Roger Ver, Trace Mayer, Brock Pierce, Charlie Lee, and the list goes on and on. And a lot of these people have accumulated a lot of wealth in crypto, and some of these people have become very popular in the crypto space. And just speaking and talking about cryptocurrencies, they have made a career out of it. So if you hear people, I've heard people argue and say, "Oh, I wish I'd invested in crypto in the early days. Today I'll be a multi-millionaire." Probably like maybe Roger Ver, one of those early crypto adopters. But the truth is, for most of us, if you had actually bought Bitcoin in 2008, a couple of things will have happened. Either one, you will have sold your Bitcoin, or you'll have probably lost the password or your private keys. And that's just the truth. Because not too many people understood or understand the potential of this great technology. If your focus on Bitcoin or crypto is just about the price, the truth is you're probably going to quit or stop worrying about investing or looking at cryptocurrencies. In 2015, I heard about Bitcoin and crypto. Myself and a couple of people got together and we decided to learn about the technology. My focus was to learn about Bitcoin. Although I had another someone on the team who was supposed to learn, whose focus was about about other tokens. Somebody else was supposed to learn about DeFi, and had another member of the team whose idea was to learn about other protocols around Bitcoin. Of all of us, all five of us who started actively working on that, I am the only one that's actively working or into crypto today, because a lot of people's focus was the price of Bitcoin. Your focus to have longevity in the crypto space, in my opinion, price shouldn't be what motivates you. So are you going to be the next crypto millionaire? That's not the focus of what I want to address today. What I want to talk about is why it's important that you really focus on understanding cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. In recent times, a lot has gone on in the crypto space. Recently, what was his name? Sam Bankman-Fried, and what happened with the FTX disaster. A lot of people panicked about crypto. After that was the failure of Silicon Valley Bank and a whole bunch of banks, and people panicked. For some people, the stroke that broke the camel's back, for lack of a better metaphor, was what happened when the SEC decided to sue Coinbase and Binance, and people just couldn't take it any longer. And I know people who sold all their Bitcoins because the focus was price and the fluctuations in the markets when bad news happens in the crypto space. But as I'm talking to you, the time I'm recording this, the price of Bitcoin has gone up. But the focus shouldn't be price. It could be up today, it could be up tomorrow. If we really understand, that's what my goal is on this video. My short rant is to encourage the people out there to forget about the price of Bitcoin and focus on understanding the potential of the protocol. I know when all this stuff happened, I know a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people who are very active talking about Bitcoin, who just stopped talking about Bitcoin because of all that was going on in the space. But in my opinion, this is the time to slow down and learn as much as you humanly can about this amazing protocol. Bitcoin is a collection of concepts and technologies that form the basis of a digital money ecosystem. Units of currency called Bitcoin are used to store and transact value among participants on the Bitcoin network. Bitcoin is a distributed peer-to-peer system. As such, there is no central server or point of control. Bitcoins are created through a process called mining, which involves competing to find solution to a mathematical problem while processing Bitcoin transactions. Bitcoin is a software protocol that lets you send money over the internet. I've said this a couple of times. In the early adaptation or the early creation of the web browsers we know today, if you type a URL that does not exist, like www.doesnotexist.com, you get an error that says 404. 404 means page not found. In the early browser, there's also another error that means payment method not recognized, which means the early creators of the modern browser, when they built the internet, saw that a time will come that you can actually transact value over the internet. You can send value to anyone, anywhere in the world, without the need of a central authority or a central institution. You can literally move $1 billion into a device that is really the size of a pen drive like this in crypto. More than that, if you understood the power and the potential of this great technology, you won't worry about price. Your focus will be education and understanding. The early days of the internet, and there are so many similarities to the internet and to Bitcoin today. Bitcoin is Internet 2.0. It's the next iteration of what the internet was intended to be, which is more than just transaction or sending information or making information available and publicly accessible, but also to transact value. So many similarities. When the internet was first created or came into mainstream, a lot of people said it was for pornographers and drug dealers, and it was for nefarious activities, which is what we say about Bitcoin today. That's a lot of people's argument. They argue about how it's used for money laundering, how it's used to sell drugs or buy drugs, how Bitcoin is used for terrorism and all this stuff. And the truth is that there are so many similarities between all the things they're saying about Bitcoin today and what they said about the internet back in the days. But there were some companies that started in this era of the internet boom, and today they are the biggest companies in the world. You know, the Facebooks, the Googles, the Apples of the world. Well, Apple is more of a hardware company, but you get my point. Don't slip on this technology. It's going to change every single thing about our lives. There are so many things or innovations that are coming out in this time. You have AI, you have augmented reality and virtual reality, you have quantum computing, and you have all the things that are picking up from whether it's web applications or mobile application development that is really getting more refined, and those are the things that are really going to be building blocks for the future that we're about to go into. But one very important technology is blockchain technology, transacting value. I strongly believe that. When the internet was created, there was a protocol called TCP/IP, which we know today, which is what everything is built upon. But TCP/IP was not the only protocol back in the days when the internet was formed. There were so many protocols, but TCP/IP happened to be the winner, and that's what everything is built upon. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is the TCP/IP of Web 3.0. I think it's the beginning of other layer 2 solutions that are going to be built on top of Bitcoin that are going to dramatically and drastically change the world. So forget about the price, forget about being a crypto billionaire. If your goal is understanding, if your goal is investing all the time, your energy in reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos, so many videos on this channel and so many other great YouTubers that have great information about Bitcoin, that in this time when all the noise is going on, you can just focus on learning every single thing that you can about this technology stack. I think you're going to be a great investment in your future, in my personal opinion. So forget about the price, forget about being a crypto billionaire. Don't worry about, am I too late? As long as you're watching this video, you're never too late. Is it too late to get involved in the internet? Of course it's not. The internet is an experiment that is decades in the making, but there's two people that are building new platforms. I was looking at Threads today, which is obviously Facebook's clone, or I don't know if it was clone, or response to Twitter. And in one day, they had about 5 million registered users, which is absolutely insane. Everything that could have been built on the internet, you would think, right? But we still have new applications that come out every single day. So invest your time and learn everything you can about this technology stack, and don't worry about the price fluctuations. If you're going to invest in Bitcoin, and this is not financial advice, this is my personal opinion on how I invest in Bitcoin, you can, I did a video some time ago, I use my whole life savings to buy Bitcoin. I wouldn't recommend you do that. But you can do what you call dollar cost averaging, which means just invest a little amount of money into crypto. I don't give financial advice, but if you do intend to invest in cryptocurrencies, you do so at your own risk. But I can just tell you what I do. So I buy a little bit of Bitcoin and Ethereum over a period of time. It can be $50 a month, it can be $100 a month, whatever it is that works for you. That way you are not stressed out about taking your whole life savings, like how some interesting people have done. I saw one guy on Twitter who said he wanted to jump off a bridge because he mortgaged his house and he used everything to buy, took a lien on his house and used all the money to buy crypto. Don't do that. So don't worry about price fluctuations. Also worry about learning every single thing that you can about this great technology. All right? So until next time, I wish for you is that you learn more about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is changing and will change the world. And those who get involved early, in my personal opinion, will greatly impact the future. And if that is you, let's go change the world.
Still looking for ways of earning extra income? Clicky lets you earn by sharing content you normally would have with friends. Go to www.clicky.com and register a new account. Now you can start earning easily. Find out more about Clicky on any of our social media handles. Clicky. Create, share, earn.